in the style of many Wiccan traditions. And the focus of our ritual, because every ritual has a focus, the focus of our ritual is going to be transitions and transformations. And as I was speaking to some of the folks earlier, the phase we're in now, and Wicca and the pagan traditions now are very focused on the rhythms of nature and the rhythms of the world around us. The time of the month that we're at right now is when you can see the first crescent of the moon in the sky. It's considered to be a form of the new moon. It's the waxing moon, and it's a good time to start things off. And since it's very early in that cycle, it's like a transition from one thing to another. So that's going to be the focus of this. And what kind of transition you personally want to think about, that's going to be entirely up to you. You can do, something that you might want to change very minor. You could do something that maybe in your life is important to you to make a big change right now, or you can just say, this is interesting, I'm going to start with all that. You don't demand things, but you invite you to participate. Now, in the course of this rite, which will be in a relatively simple form, we're going to honor the four directions, we're going to acknowledge sacred space, and we're going to do what's called in the way I was trained, called the magical act, which will be focusing and meditating a little bit on transitions that we'd like to make. Okay? In the course of our working, there's a couple of songs that I'm going to use. 2 songs, each of which have 3 verses. Now, that's 6 verses, and that can be a lot to learn. However, the cool thing about these songs is that you can sing the verses overlapping each other. So one person could be singing one verse, and another person could be singing another verse, and it'll sound very nice together. So I'm going to teach you the 6 verses, or I'm going to sing them to you. And if you can only remember one from each one, that's fine, because that's all you're doing. And the first one, probably the most complex, at least the first verse of it, so don't worry about the first verse, the next 2 are easier. It only matters that I remember all verses. And it's called, where there's fear, there is power. Passion is the healer. Desire cracks open the gates. If you're ready, it'll take you through. But nothing lasts forever. Time is the destroyer. The wheel turns again and again. Watch out, it'll take you through. But nothing dies forever. Nature is the renewer. The wheel turns again and again. If you're ready, it'll take you through. And then you sing each one of those verses once after me. And as I say, who of you don't remember it? As we're singing, as they come, you can sing what you're interested in singing. And it'll all work. Where there's fear, there is power. Passion is the healer. You want to try just that part with me? Where there's fear, there is power. Passion is the healer. Desire cracks open the gates. If you're ready, it'll take you through. Desire cracks open the gates. If you're ready, it'll take you through. But nothing lasts forever. Time is the destroyer. But nothing lasts forever. Time is the destroyer. The wheel turns again and again. Watch out, it'll take you through. The wheel turns again and again. Watch out, it'll take you through. But nothing dies forever. Nature is the renewer. But nothing dies forever. Nature is the renewer. The wheel turns again and again. If you're ready, it'll take you through. The wheel turns again and again. If you're ready, it'll take
take you through.
You want to try it once from the top with me? Muddle through as you can, whatever works for you. Where there's fear, there is power. Ash is the healer. Desire cracks open the gates. If you're ready, it'll take you through. But nothing lasts forever. Time is the destroyer. The wheel turns again and again. If you're ready, it'll take you through. But nothing lasts forever. Nature is the renewer. The wheel turns again and again. If you're ready, it'll take you through. We're just learning songs at this point, so feel free to come in, make yourself comfortable. I'm going to teach one more short song, and then we're going to get into the core of the ritual. Now, the beautiful thing is, as I explained to these other lovely people, is the songs that I'm teaching each have 3 verses, but you don't have to remember the whole song. Whatever part you remember is fine, and we can sing them overlapping. So if you're singing one verse and you're singing another verse and you're singing another, it'll work. That's the nice thing about this. Yeah, if you get in the neighborhood of the tune, it helps. But you know, we're a very forgiving group. The next song is a little simpler, it's fewer words, at least in some of the verses. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes.
She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes.
Congratulations, you just learned your verse.
Hey.
Changes, touches, touches, changes,
Changes, touches, touches, changes.
We are the changers. Everything we touch can change.
We are the changers. Everything we touch can change.
She changes everything she touches, and
Everything she touches changes. Changes, touches, touches, changes. We are the changers. Everything we touch can change.
now when we sing this in the ritual, we'll repeat each one of those lines twice. Okay? But you can see it's a pretty easy one. The first one I taught you is a little more complicated. I'll be singing that, don't worry about it. But if you want to jump in, I encourage you to do so, as a matter of fact. Really, really encourage you to do so. And if you don't remember which verse is going on, whatever verse you're singing, it's going to work. Okay? So, I want to welcome you all here to our rite of transformation and transitions. I chose this as a theme today because of both the phase of the moon and because I'm going through a lot myself in terms of changes and transitions. You know, it's a time of year too where we're shifting from one season to another and the moon is changing. And we've all got something that we want to adjust in our lives. It's just kind of the way it is of being a people. So what I'm going to start doing here is I would like us to just kind of focus in on being here together as a group. We're in this lovely space together. We don't really know each other. That's all right, because we'll know a little bit more just by being able to feel each other's energy. And I'm going to start by kind of just woofing away any excess energy that might be in this space. And what we're all going to think about while that's going on is to just say, okay, if I'm worried about the grocery list, and I'm worried about what happened yesterday, and I'm worried about what happens tomorrow, it's not really relevant to what's happening right now. So to the extent that I'm able, I'm just going to kind of like push those away. And we're going to be here right now. And to kind of remind us of that, and to use the vibration here to chase away things that don't need there. The sound, and the vibration of the sound. Move it away. Push it away. all of us to hear. And we also, in our rites, create sacred space by making a space, as we say, that is between the worlds. And in a very formal Wiccan rite, we may cast an elaborate circle. And sometimes that's to say, we need to make the space sacred. We have the great privilege right now of working in the Corellian temple room. And this is a chapel, and this is sacred space. We don't need to make it sacred. But sometimes we need to kind of remind ourselves about that fact. For that reason, so we can both remind ourselves and honor of all the people who have to kind of start at the beginning to create their temples every time. We will cast a circle. We're going to cast it amongst ourselves. And I hope you're comfortable with this affair. I beg your indulgence. But we're going to do it with our own physical energy. And what I would like each one of us to do, so we're going to offer our hand to the person to our left. And I would like the person to the left to then take the hand. Don't forget that hand. The words that we'll use is a circle is passed hand to hand. So as you reach out, and as the person takes your hand, we will say, the circle is passed hand to hand. And if you would offer
The
your
circle
hand.
is passed.
The circle is passed.
The circle is passed hand. Circle is passed hand. Circle is passed hand to hand.
The 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 circle is passed hand to hand.
And we are here, circle cast, hand to hand, together in our purpose and in our hearts. We do what we shall do. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
And now in our way of working and in our way of honoring the world around us, in the way of honoring the elements inside ourselves, we pull to the four directions. And we're going to start in the east, because that's the way I did it. Some people start at the north. Our altar here is in the north. So those of you who need to orient yourself, and the very word orienting means knowing where the east is. East and south and west and north. And if I would ask you to stand now, we're going to face just briefly in each direction, starting in the east. And acknowledge where we are, in the space that we are in, and the elements of us. East, place of the rising sun, places of beginnings. For each of us, in one way or another, we have a beginning to make. And we ask that the power of the east, the fresh air of spring, blows through us and helps us open the way to where we shall be. Powers of the east, I salute you, aid us in our right. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
And turning to the south, to a place of fire and the hot summer sun, and the heats of the fires, the dragons, the volcanoes, the burning desire within us to make change when we need to, the fire in our blood. Let that be present with us as we think about the change that we need to make. Powers of fire, powers of the south. Let your hot breeze blow through. We shall feel you today. Culminate us in our right. Hail and welcome.
Hail
and welcome.
And blessed be.
Blessed be.
And to the west, the place of water and the heart, with the waves and compassion and love roll over us. Let us feel what we need, what change we might need to make. Let us feel what we feel comfortable in taking upon ourselves. Let us feel the love for ourselves and for the people with us. I say to you, great powers of the autumn, of the rivers, of the oceans, and of love and compassion, be with us today and help us in our light. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
And blessed be.
Blessed be.
And finally to the north, the dark of the winter, the cold winds, and the deep stones of the earth. North, you are the foundation beneath our feet, that upon which we build. And let us start today building at the starting place for what we wish to accomplish. And from this place, bring us into realness in what we choose to do. Powers of the north, powers of earth, come into our circle and aid us today. I bid you hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. Blessed be.
There's one last thing that I would acknowledge in this circle before we begin what we will do. And that is the power of divinity. There is a divine in all of us, and there is a greater divine. And there are shapes of the divine and ways that we have looked upon the energy of the world and given them names. On the altar here, we have Kuan Yin and Apollo, goddess and God in unique faces. May I ask that for each one of you, whatever face you give to the divine, whatever name you give to the divine, in the words of the ancient poet, by whatever name doth please thy ear, by that name be thou honored here. We welcome the divine in all your names and faces to be with us and among us and help us as we make our changes in this time. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
So as we have created our space amongst us, and as we have acknowledged the world around us and the different pieces inside us, and as we have acknowledged the sacred and the divine and brought that amongst us, now we look at why we are here and what work we shall do. And I'm going to pass amongst you here we have paper and pencil. And take each one of you one and pass it along. And I want you to take a moment now, as you're waiting and after you receive, to think about what might be going on inside you and in your life. Maybe there's some little thing that you say, you know, I really need to change this now. Maybe it's a little thing like, boy, it'd be nice if I kept my desk more orderly. I thought about that a lot. For me, that's a big one. But maybe for you, it's not. Or maybe you look at some big thing in your life. Maybe I want to go back to school, or maybe I'm finishing school. Or maybe I have a relationship to start, or a relationship that needs to end. Or maybe there are some important passages that are going around and people around you. Many things can come in our lives that create transitions. There are many ways that we can accept or reject them. Funny thing is, though, change happens whether we want it to or not. So a lot of times, it's about as much as acknowledging and embracing it in whatever way we can. We're going to be where we are. We can make it harder on ourselves and easier. What I would like you to do is we're going to chant while you think about this. And as something comes to mind that seems to you in your life about transition, about transformation, you can mark it on that bit of paper. It can be in words or pictures. or in whatever makes sense to you. No one but you will receive. I can promise you that. No one but you will ever see. Okay. Take a moment, pull yourself into yourself. Think about that change. And if you feel comfortable joining me in our chanting, where there's fear, there is power. Passion is the healer. Desire cracks open the gates. If you're ready, it'll take you through. But nothing lasts forever. Time is the destroyer. The wheel turns again and again. If you're ready, it'll take you through. But nothing dies forever. Nature is the renewer. The wheel turns again and again. It'll take you through. Where there's fear, there is power. Passion is the healer. Desire cracks open the gates. If you're ready, it'll take you through. But nothing lasts forever. Time is the destroyer. The wheel turns again and again. Watch out. It'll take you through. But nothing dies forever. Nature is the renewer. The wheel turns again and again. If you're ready, it'll take you through. Collect. Once you're ready. We'll place this in a cauldron. Cauldron. It's a symbol of change. And many times and places, you have the cauldron of rebirth and the cauldron of changes, and what was into the cauldron comes out not the same. Our desires, our changes are going to go in this cauldron, and they will be burned. The fire is the ultimate transformer. Nothing goes into the fire and comes out the same. In this space, I'm not able to set it alight, but I will promise you, and the Reverend will assist me with this later today, that we will burn them in a safe place and scatter the ashes to the winds. But the winds may carry your wishes to where they need to be.
There is power. Passion is the healer. Desire cracks open the gates. If you're ready, it'll take you through. Nothing lasts forever. Time is the destroyer. The wheel turns again and again. Watch out, it'll take you through. But nothing dies forever. Nature is the renewer. The wheel turns again and again. It'll take you through.
We have the power of all the energies we called in here to help us with this change. But we have ourselves. We have the power that we have spoken to from divinity. And we have ourselves. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and
Everything she touches changes. We are the changers. Everything we touch can change. We are the changers. Everything we touch can change. Changes, touches, changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. We are the changers. Touches, changes. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. We are the changers. Everything we touch changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. We are the changers. Everything she touches change. She changes everything touches. Everything she touches changes. She changes and touches. Everything she touches changes. Changes, changes. Everything she touches changes. Change are the changes. Everything we touch can change. We are the changers. Everything we touch can change. We are the changers. Everything we touch can change.
So that we will, so mote it be.
So mote it be.
And as we add our energy to this place, to this special act, each one of us helping the other in ways that we cannot even imagine, to do whatever it is that we have chosen to do. We're not doing it alone. In that place, I say thank you to that who's been here to aid us. I say thank you to divinity, to the gods, to the goddesses, by whatever name doth please they are here. They are honored here. And we thank you, though we know you never leave us. We say to thee, hail and farewell.
Hail, farewell.
And to the powers of the four directions, say to thee, of the north, and the west, and the south, and the east, the powers of the earth, and the water, and the fire, and the air, come stir and move within us, and aid us in what we do. We bid you farewell. Go now, but come again from us, that we might remember our own power. We bid all thee hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
And blessed be.
Blessed be.
And us amongst ourselves. Just take hands. It's easier now, isn't it? But we've shared. We've come together in sacred space, in sacred time, and done something. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. You won't know. But you'll know in your heart when change has come. And I say to each of you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the circle that is bound, may it be unwound. The circle that is bound, it shall be unwound. And I say, as above,
So
below.
as the universe,
So the soul.
Merry meet.
Merry part and merry meet again. Woo! Thank you.
Thank you.
And this will be consigned to the fire later today.
It will indeed.
And if you're not sure, it will be uploaded on YouTube, so you'll know.
Can I ask you a question? What's the name of that first song? The first song, sorry. What's the name of that first title?
I don't know what it is. It's I learned it so long ago. It may be on one of the recording CDs. Yeah.
Is
So
it where?
with the title and attribution, the circles, creating circles and ceremonies.
Okay.
Is it up front? Yes. Okay. So
Why,
it's
yes,
available today.
I can get that.
Yeah, it's in the front.
I'm gonna go up.
I learned it many years ago, and it just seemed right for now.
It's really
Yes,
nice.
indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
If you have any other questions, etc., I'll be available to talk to you. I really appreciate you coming and joining us. And may you take what you learned out into the world and do with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay. Well, we have Witch City Expo continuing. I'm doing incantations at 3 p.m. at Salem. So go to SH3, chant away.
This used to be the symbol of our event this year.
Yes, the Phoenix.
The Phoenix rising.
Yeah, we're doing a ceremony tonight. Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm glad you found us.
Here at the Witch City Expo in Salem Chapel, we did a ritual of transformation and transitions, and people wrote their wishes for transformation and transitions on slips of paper that we put in the cauldron. Now, for various fire law reasons, we weren't able to burn them in the chapel, but I promised that they would never see the light of day, though it's dark out, and we're going to burn them now. And try not to burn my finger. So that all of people's wishes for changes and the magic they put into creating transitions and transformations for themselves can be consumed by the fire. Nothing goes into the fire and comes out the same. So there's no way you cannot have transformation. I have my own plans and changes in here too. It's as important to me as anyone. I think we can call it a done deal. And tomorrow, when these are cool, we will scatter them to the winds. So good night.